day like any other. I was sitting in my room doing whatever when I got a notification from Instagram that I got a new follower. It seemed to be one of those random spam-like accounts. The username was Ty13053, and there were 5 pictures on the profile, all of different typical suburban houses. The profile had 2 followers, was following 3 people including me, and none of the pictures had any likes. Comments seemed to be disabled on all of the pictures. I didn't bother blocking or removing the account from my followers, as I had my profile set to public anyway at the time. A couple nights later, I got a notification that the random Ty13053 account liked my most recent picture. Just being curious, I click on the notification and then pull up the profile again. This time there was a new picture on the profile, and I instantly recognized it as a picture of my house. I DM'd the profile asking who it was, saying it was very funny. Of course, it had to be one of my friends messing with me. When the person running the account left my DMs unseen and didn't reply, I followed up with, "This is harassment and a threat," and that I would have the police follow up on this. I ran to my parents' room to wake them up, as it was past 12 at that point. I showed them the picture of our house, and said someone was messing with me who knew where we lived. They tried to rationalize, and said the same thing I thought, that it was someone from my school messing with me. My dad and I both went outside regardless to have a look around the property and on the street. It was a ghost town out there though, as it should be past 12 o'clock. We went back inside into our respective bedrooms. I wasn't actually going to pursue it with the police at that exact moment. It was obvious to me, at least in the moment, that someone who knew me was pranking me. I stayed up for a few more hours, and around the time I was about to go to bed, I got a DM from the account. It was an image, another image of my house. It was on the side this time. As I had the chat opened, he sent another, this time a picture of my window, with the glare from the TV in my room visible in the picture. I didn't dare get up and look out the window. Wouldn't you guess it, the next DM from the account was, "Look out your window." I turned off the TV to allow total darkness in the room. I didn't want to be seen by whoever was at my window. I quietly crawled off my bed onto the floor in the dark. As I was crawling on the carpet towards the door, a pounding on the window started. I don't want to say knocking, because these bangs on the glass sounded loud enough to shatter it. Inevitably, I turned, and of course, saw a person at the window. Facial features, though, impossible to make out. I got up and ran out of my room and to my parents' room once again. I pulled my dad out of the bed and led him to my room. He heard the end of the bangs on my window, but by the time we got to my room, the guy at the window was gone. The banging was all my dad needed to believe me and take this seriously, though. We called the cops that second and talked to the officers who came. They said the good news was since the person was contacting me through Instagram, they could track the person after putting a legal request into Instagram. So that same night, we followed the cop car to the nearest precinct, where we went through this long process. They took the account name and my details of the story, and literally the next day, we found out who it was. It was this kid named Luke who went to my high school. As much as I want to give the last name, that could lead to issues. Luke was a very, very weird kid that didn't talk to many people. He was just a very mean, unpleasant, and scary dude. Not scary like tough. Scary like some would even fear he'd do something crazy that would harm students or staff. I don't know why he targeted me. I never even spoke to the kid. But this really proved how dangerous he was. He hit my window so hard we found small cracks on it in the daylight. He was arrested and we got him for a harassment charge, an attempted breaking and entering charge, and I think a couple others. One day in calculus class, my friend Joe and I were goofing off in the corner when someone on Instagram requested to follow me. It was some blonde girl named Tracy. I accepted her follow request and showed Joe, because based on her picture, she was pretty hot. Of course, I felt pretty good having what I assumed to be some random good-looking girl following me. I requested to follow her back, and then I put my phone down to take notes in class. It wasn't until I got home that I got a DM from the girl. I don't really want to relay our whole conversation. I'll just tell you it started with her calling me very attractive, asking some basic questions about me, etc. I told her to accept my follow request, but she said she didn't want her boyfriend to see any new followers because he checks that all the time. That's when it got exciting for me, having a girl show interest in me while she has a boyfriend. It might have been wrong of me, but I kept entertaining it. She said they kept fighting and she just needed a short break from hanging with him, that she wanted to hang out with someone else to detox. I texted my friend Joe asking his advice, and he said I should 100% go meet up with her. Just needed that justification from a buddy, of course. We made plans to meet up by the little Bayside beach in town at 11 p.m. The Bayside beach in town was the go-to spot for my friend group to hang out or just bring girls on little dates. I pulled up to the nearby parking lot around 10:50 and DM'd her that I was there 5 minutes later. She answered right away, saying, "Great, I left something in the sand for you." Odd. I said, "LOL, what?" She said, "Go look." It was bizarre that we were still DMing on Instagram at this point, but I went along with it. I walked over to the little quiet beach, and I saw something in the sand by the water. It was a little cardboard box. I went to open it, and it was a Polaroid picture of my car, parked in that little parking lot from just now. What the hell? I DM'd her, "LOL, where are you?" She replied, "Come find me." Okay, so she's messing with me or trying to be cute. I could tell based on the picture that she had taken it while hidden in the bush patch surrounding the perimeter of the parking lot. I referred to the picture to get the angle of where the picture was taken right, and I walked up to that general area in front of the bushes and stopped. I heard this really weird sound, like the sound you would make if you were trying to gargle but with no water in your mouth. "Tracy?" I said. I parted the bush to try and expose her. Instead, I saw some man hunched over on the dirt below the bush, his back to me. His head shot back at me so suddenly that I fell backwards on my palms, landing on the concrete. I ran to my car and drove out from there. I had to tell Joe and the rest of my friends what happened, and while they still used that beach as a hangout spot, I had to stop going there for a while for my own good. I'm 17 years old. My name is Jackie. Like most girls, I envy the gorgeous ones on Instagram. I like getting lots of likes and comments on my pictures. So last summer, I was taking advantage of the beach weather and posting a lot of swimsuit photos. Those are always a hit and get lots of attention. I usually let anyone follow me, as I like seeing my follower count grow. One day in the summer, I got one strange follow request though. I clicked on the username. It was completely blank. No profile picture, no posts, no followers, nothing. In fact, I'd be the only account it would be following once I hit accept. But I didn't care. Maybe it was one of my crazy exes trying to stalk me. Let them look, I figured. A week later, it began, and I received my first comment from the strange account. The comment said "hot" on one of my week-old pictures. I didn't think much of it, being as more than half the time I received comments on photos, they were from people I didn't actually know in real life. The next day, though, the account went on a liking spree on my profile. He liked nearly half of all my pictures. Then things got worse. One night I got a call on my cell phone. Curiously, I picked up and heard in a deep voice, "Hey," on the other end. It was a guy's voice, very, very deep, and I didn't recognize the voice at all. The voice on the other end said, "This is Jackie, right?" I hung up the phone with my heart now racing. I shut the blinds on both my windows. I had no idea who it was, but I just hoped someone was playing a prank on me. The next day, the account tagged me in a picture. I looked to see what the picture was, and it was a picture of the street around my block. I blocked the account and stopped using Instagram for a few days. One day that week, my friend Jess and I went to the beach. When we parked and were unloading the trunk with our beach chairs, some guy in jeans and sunglasses came up to me and complimented my swimsuit. I thanked him while not wanting to talk to this guy at all. He asked Jess and I how our day was going, and that's when I recognized his voice. He was the one on the phone who called me. He found me, and he followed me. I told Jess to get back in the car, and we drove home making sure he wasn't following us. I explained to her on the way back what was going on. I didn't want to leave my car in the parking lot of the beach, scared that he would bug my car or something. I also had my dad check for any trackers on the car when we got home. I'm not sure how he found me, but I think he was wise to the fact that I knew it was him. However, just a few days ago, I received a DM on Instagram from some random account saying, "Remember that time we met at the beach?" I'm hoping the harassment doesn't start again. I haven't been sleeping these past few nights. I may have to contact the police.